We will now read a joint House and Senate resolution in recognition of Melissa, Mark, and Gilbert, beginning with Representative Long.
A joint resolution honoring the lives and service of Melissa and Mark Hortman. Whereas Melissa Hortman served for 20 years in the Minnesota House of Representatives and was the longest serving female speaker in Minnesota history, and
whereas Mark Hortman was a devoted and loving husband and father, outgoing and genuine, a highly skilled professional, a man of many interests and hobbies, and a fierce supporter of Melissa's work, and
whereas Gilbert Hortman had an infectious energy and love of people that led him to change his career path from aspiring service animal to beloved Hortman family dog. And Melissa's greatest love outside of her family was reserved for Gilbert. And
whereas Melissa started her legal career at Legal Aid, suing discriminatory landlords, she won a record-setting verdict in a housing discrimination lawsuit.
Whereas Mark worked for a decade for John's Auto Parts, the Holupsik family business, had a fruitful career in the tech industry, most recently working for nVent, and
whereas Melissa and Mark met while volunteering as mentors and were assigned to the same student. They were engaged 3 months later, and later had 2 children, Colin and Sophie. And
whereas Melissa was central to dozens of historic legislative accomplishments, including a trailblazing solar energy standard and community solar laws, paid family medical leave, universal school meals, gun violence prevention, reproductive freedom, and much more. And
whereas Melissa strengthened government-to-government relationship with Minnesota's 11 sovereign tribal nations, including establishing Sovereignty Day in 2019 and championing tribal state relations trainings. And
whereas outside of work, Melissa enjoyed cross-country skiing and gardening. She loved baking and would frequently bring cakes for her staff. And
whereas Mark and Melissa loved to travel around the country and around the world with their family, creating lifelong memories and appreciation for nature, different communities, and the beauty of the world around them. And
whereas the Hortman family volunteered with Helping Paws, an organization that trains service animals, and Mark and Sophie successfully trained Minnie, who is now paired with a veteran. And
whereas Melissa believed in following the golden rule and the principle that to whom much is given, much is expected, she carried the prayer of St. Francis in her wallet and consistently deflected credit and recognition to others. And
whereas Colin and Sophie Hortman shared how to honor their parents, plant a tree, visit a local park, and make use of their amenities, especially a bike trail, pet a dog, a golden retriever is ideal, but any will do. Tell your loved ones a cheesy dad joke and laugh about it. Bake something, bread for Mark or a cake for Melissa, and share it with someone. Try a new hobby and enjoy learning something. Stand up for what you believe in, especially if that thing is justice and peace. And
whereas Colin and Sophia also shared that the best way to honor our parents' memory is to do something, whether big or small, to make our community just a little better for someone else. And
whereas Melissa and Mark and Gilbert were tragically taken from their family, friends, colleagues, and the entire state of Minnesota. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the House of Representatives and the Senate of the state of Minnesota that they honor and remember the incredible lives, legacies, and service of Melissa, Mark, and Gilbert Hortman. And be it further resolved that enrolled copies of this resolution be presented to Colin and Sophie Hortman.